Welcome to Smart Girl Philippines. I'm Irish and the topic of today's Shark Talk is 7 reasons Filipinas sleep with foreigners. Start with why. When you come to the Philippines, there are going to be a lot of Filipinas begging to sleep with you. Of course, it's more fun in the Philippines, but only if you're smart. So, understanding the motivations for why a Filipino wants to engage in a relationship with you is going to be incredibly important to figure out if you want a shot at scoring in the bedroom and in having a successful relationship. And to save you a ton of time, I'm simply going to tell you what these motivations are. So, here we go. Number 1, curiosity. She might have seen Filipinas with foreigner husbands or boyfriends on YouTube or social media. She might have an aunt or a cousin or maybe a friend who married a foreigner. She might have seen tourists coming and going. And all of these things have caused her to fantasize about what it would be like to have a foreigner boyfriend or to be married to a foreigner. And she might have fantasized about the elevated social status she might experience and the security that being with a foreigner might bring. If this is her motivation, then the best thing you can do is to be the foreigner she has fantasized about. That means you have to play your part well and really be the foreigner she has dreamed of. That means do not use any Tagalog words and do not try to act like you know a lot about the Philippines when you're first getting to know her. Be a mystery to her. Don't tell her your whole life story the first time you meet. Be fun, bold, independent, generous, a risk taker, and an explorer. Be different than the other men in her life. Be a gentleman and be loyal. If you're from Texas, then be from Texas. Wear a cowboy hat, eat barbecue, and say yeehaw. Don't wear a Filipino gift shop t-shirt. Eat rice and try to speak Tagalog. If she wants a foreigner, then be a foreigner. The challenge to overcome with this motivation is that the curiosity will eventually wear off, and what was once fun and exciting might become ordinary or annoying to her. So the best way to overcome this challenge is to always keep yourself somewhat mysterious to her and to make efforts to adopt Filipino culture and traditions. Basically, don't yell at her or disrespect her family and always order rice when you take her out to dinner. Number 2, boredom. She might have lived a very simple life. She graduated from high school and then started working right away to support her family. Or she went to college and graduated and now she makes $8 a day. Maybe she's stuck at home. Maybe her life is the same routine every day. Wake up, take 3 jeepneys rides to work for 10 hours, then go home and eat rice. Basically, her life is boring. She wants to go drink and sing karaoke. She wants to go to the movies. She wants to go out to eat. She wants to go to the beach. She dreams of exploring the Philippines. She dreams of Boracay and Palawan. If this is her motivation, then the best thing you can do is be the guy who is willing to show up and show her a good time. It might be as simple as saying, hey, do you want to go eat Korean barbecue? Or, hey, let's go do karaoke tonight. Or, do you want to go to Boracay? Many foreigners have ended up marrying Filipinos and starting beautiful families because they simply showed up and were willing to show a Filipino a good time. The challenge to overcome with this motivation is that eventually the fun has to stop and the bills have to be paid. So, the best thing you can do is to always plan the next adventure with her as the current one is ending. If you're doing karaoke with her tonight, then as the date is ending, ask her if she wants to go to the movies next weekend. Or if you're in Boracay, ask her if she wants to go to El Nido in 2 months. Always have a next thing in mind. And that will always keep her looking forward to the next adventures with you. Number 3, she's horny. Guess what? Filipinas are real women. And biology is biology. Sometimes we need our butter churned. And here's the deal. Just like any other woman in the world, we're attracted to handsome guys. If this is her motivation and you are tall, fit, young, or handsome, and you're in her general proximity and she sends you a message asking if you're busy, then that only means one thing. So, when you're in the Philippines, remember that physical appearance still matters. And Filipinas love men who smell good. So, at the very minimum, take a shower and use plenty of cologne. And take a hint if a Filipina is replying to her messages right away. The downside to this motivation is that if this is the only thing motivating her to be with you, then the chances of having a successful long-term relationship with her are going to be tricky. After all, you don't keep paying the plumber after he unclogs your pipes. So once you take care of her problem, there's a good chance that she'll find a different plumber the next time she needs her pipes cleaned. If you're chatting with a beautiful Filipina who is in her prime, that you met online but you don't have plans to come to the Philippines in the immediate future, it's safe to assume that someone else is taking care of her needs. That's why using dating sites when you're not in the Philippines, it's tricky. If you're not here, you're not here. Before I continue, I worked as a waitress for several years and got to observe thousands of foreigners, and I even dated a few. And no, that's not an exaggeration. I really did interact with thousands of foreigners over the course of several years. So I decided to write a book called Irish's Black Book of Game to explain what I learned about how to have game when it comes to attracting women. I'll be releasing this book on Amazon later in 2025, but I'll give it to you for free. Just click the link in the description below to get on the waiting list for a free digital copy when it's released. Okay, number 4, quick money. Generally speaking, there's no credit cards, student loans, car loans, or easy access to money in the Philippines. If a Filipina has an emergency or needs money today, then she's going to be highly motivated to enter into a relationship with someone to get what she needs. This is why there's no shortage of Filipina on dating sites like Tinder who will straightly tell you that they'll meet you tonight if you can help them out a little. And this is also why there's no shortage of Filipinas willing to work in bars and freelancing on the streets. I'm not going to judge either side because life is hard in the Philippines. And at the same time, a lot of guys are lonely and are starving for intimacy. But I will say 3 things about this. 1, every relationship involves an exchange of value. And the more invisible this exchange, the more uncomfortable it makes us all feel. When the transaction for a relationship is highly visible, it's typically seen as a negative thing. But if a woman didn't need financial support or want to have babies, and men didn't crave physical affection, then the entire planet would quickly die. 2, everybody wants money and sex. In traditional relationships, it's normal for the man to be provider and the woman to be the nurturer. Basically, this means that men want sex and women want taken care of. The challenge with this is that if a Filipina asks for money in the beginning stages of a relationship, it's a huge red flag. It probably means she's working and not actually looking for a boyfriend or husband. Conversely, if a guy asks for sex right away, it typically means he's not serious about a long-term relationship. So it's okay to want money and sex, but trying to get things too early in a relationship is usually a bad sign. 3, the need for quick money and quick sex has led to a lot of really bad things and really good things in our world. It's led to a lot of single moms, but it's also led to a lot of beautiful families being started. It's led to nights of regret, but it's also led to a new girlfriend or wife. It's led to disease and pain, but it's also led to better health and emotional well-being. It's led to squandering money on drinks and partying, but it's also led to emergencies being overcome and financial burdens being lifted. So understand that life is life, and our common need for money and intimacy can be both a blessing and a curse. So we need to approach these needs with caution. Number 5, support. Instead of quick money, think of this as long-term support. She might need money for college, or maybe she finished college but she only makes $10 a day and needs extra support to make her life work. Maybe she's a single mom and needs help raising her kids. Whatever it is, she's not after quick money. Relationships are more practical in the Philippines, so a Filipina who is motivated in this way isn't going to be looking for a quick fling. She's looking for someone who is good, faithful, loyal, and generous. Someone who will stick with her for a long term. A Filipina who is motivated in this way is a great option. If you can help solve her problem every week or every month, then she's going to be highly motivated to make a relationship work with you. Let me give you a couple of pointers though. Number 1, it's free to ask. So don't make yourself a target by being too nice to her. She needs to invest in the relationship if it's going to work. So if you're solving all of her problems too quickly and easily with no effort required on her part, then that means she'll have no reason to invest in the relationship. Don't build her family a house. Don't buy her a new iPhone. And don't pay off all her debts in your first month of dating. It's okay to be kind and generous, but go incredibly slow. Number 2, never give a Filipina big money. If you do, it will be gone very fast and it's only going to hurt your relationship. For example, giving a Filipina $70 a week would be 100 times better than giving her $700 a month. A Filipina could live on $1 million for several lifetimes, but the reality is that if you gave her $1 million tomorrow, it would be gone in about 3 weeks. Never give a Filipina money to save. Just give her enough for the next week or at most 1 month, but never more than that. Remember to always keep the amount small and frequent. Number 3, yes, Filipinas can earn their own money. No, we're not all gold diggers, but money is really hard to come by here and the pressures of life never stops in the Philippines. A few pesos can really help a Filipina and your kindness is going to be extremely rewarded. So if you can help your Filipina, then do it. Just be smart about it. Don't be dumb, okay? Number 6, family pressure. Chances are her family is depending on her. In the Philippines, it's the job of the kids to work hard to provide for the parents. When a Filipina turns 18, she either needs to start working right away to earn money or to go to college and quickly graduate so she can get a better job and start earning money. Life is not just fun and games for a young Filipina unless she has no family. She is expected to get moving and make things happen so her family can have a better life. Sometimes a Filipina might not give any time to a foreigner because she needs to focus on working to support her family. Other times, she might decide to enter into a relationship with a foreigner because the pressure to support her family is too overwhelming. And she sees a relationship with a foreigner as the only way out. If this is her motivation, then understand the pressure she is under and understand that loving her means loving her family. I'm making a separate video about navigating this dynamic in a relationship with a Filipina. But a Filipina who is motivated by love for a family is a really great thing. Just remember this bit of advice. Her family will probably always expect money from her. The best way to deal with this is don't be the good guy and don't be the bad guy. Don't be the good guy and turn into walking ATM for her family. Don't build them a house and don't hand out cash when you see them. This will only make you a target. Also, don't be the bad guy by never showing any kindness or care towards her family. Simply tell her that you have X amount of dollars you can support her family with every 3 months or 6 months. Maybe it's $100, maybe it's $1,000, or maybe it's $20. Tell her it's up to her who in her family receives the money. This helped teach her that there is only so much support you can give, and it puts her in the driver's seat for deciding who gets what. Number 7, a better future. She has big plans. She might want a baby with a foreigner. She might want a better life. She might dream of owning her own business. She might dream of traveling the world. She might dream of going to the United States or another country. If this is her motivation, then that means you need to have your shit together. And if you do, then there's a good chance that she's going to be highly motivated to have a relationship with you. The downside is that she might not understand how hard it is to actually do these things, and seeing you as a means to an end might not end well for you. It's okay to have big dreams, but those dreams need to be rooted in reality. So if this is her motivation, that's great, but make her work for those goals and dreams. The more she invests in building a future together with you, the better chance of success your relationship will have. Of course, you can roll the dice and apply for a fiancé visa right away. And you can put a bun in her oven your first month of dating. And it might work and it might not. Women are a roll of the dice, and it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. But just remember this. If it doesn't end well, remember that you signed up for this mission. And don't be sad it's over. Be happy that it happened. Let me conclude by saying all relationships are based on motivation, an exchange of value, and chemistry. Figuring out the perfect mix of all three of these things is what makes pursuing a relationship fun. You can love someone without being in a relationship with them, and you can be in a relationship with someone without loving them. But when you can align both of these things together, that's where the magic happens. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you may consider joining my free weekly newsletter called SMART123. Every Thursday, you receive an email with 3 ways to find love, 2 ways to be smart, and 1 bit of personal Filipina life advice from me. Just click the link in the description below to try it out. It's free, and you can unsubscribe at any time. And as usual, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for the good luck of the Philippines.